Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and this is another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today guys, I've got a ZvZ, it is a ladder game. It is between FXOLoWeLy, the red Zerg player in the lower right position, and in the top right position his opponent is the blue Zerg. And well guys, the map is Entomb Valley, and well, they're in the close vertical position, so not cross spawns. You can't get horizontal spawning, that is impossible. But, well, this should be awesome fun. I haven't cast a ZvZ in a while, and I'm really excited about it because I love ZvZ. I hate playing ZvZ. I don't think there's anyone in the world who enjoys playing this matchup, but watching it, it is pretty exciting, especially the Zergling Baneling phase. That's just like completely hyperactive. It is so intensive in micro. One misstep with your Banelings and they're dead for nothing. One misstep with your Zerglings and they're all dead for nothing. And it can go either way, and it's quite hectic because of the whole Zerg mechanic of having those lava and the way you can just quickly get out a bunch of units or a bunch of drones and just one mistake. Oh my god, I'm getting stressed just thinking about playing this matchup, but my god, is it fun. So, what can we expect from these two? Well, really, ZvZ has so many options available early game, and it's all to do with the timings of whether you go hatch first, pull first, and when you take those things. If it's a hatch first, it's pretty much always going to be at 15. If it's pull first, you can get it anywhere from the 6 pull all the way up to like a 15 pull. So it's really pretty varied. Obviously, you can get gas openings as well, usually something like a 14 gas pull, but it's less common nowadays. As you can see here, both players already going for different builds. Low going for that hatch first, one going for his pull first. So this is already the first little bit of difference. Now, obviously, if one follows up with a hatchery at about 16, which you can do, then economically wise, these two players, they're going to be pretty damn similar, because by getting the pull earlier, you get the queen slightly earlier, which means you get the inject slightly earlier, which means you get more lava slightly earlier. Obviously, Lowly gets his base out earlier, and it kind of all balances out, really. There's not, obviously, the hatch first is slightly economically better in the long run, but it's only fractionally. Obviously, the pull first slightly safer earlier on. So, yeah, as you can see, one getting down his pull, his hatchery now. Gas coming down for Lowly, that's another difference in the build. So these two going for really quite different openings already, and that's always really exciting to see. Now, the important thing to note is, of course, one hasn't made any Zerglings. That's spawning pull, purely just to get the queen out at the moment. Scout-wise, one scouting the correct way initially, so he's gonna see that, obviously, the hatchery is down, and if he pulls back quickly enough, he won't actually get spotted, and that's really good news, because obviously once that Overlord was spotted by the hatchery, you can then instantly know that your opponent is in the top position. But of course Lowly has already scouted, so it doesn't really matter in this case. Both players with mining the gas, and well, as you can see, both players still got 3 drones in the gas. Now, the important thing I'm going to be looking out for at the moment is whether we're going to see any of those drones pulled out, and if so, how many. Is it just for the speed? Are they going to keep the gas going? Are they going to get their Baneling nests up quickly? We'll wait and see. One thing I usually do think is quite an interesting strategy is, rather than getting speed out from a hatch first, is actually using your first 50 gas for a Baneling nest. That can be really, really potent, because it just allows you to defend against those early Zergling aggression. But obviously, you don't need to worry about that once you've seen the hatchery down. Now, this queen coming forward, really, really a long way forward to come and pick off and really harass that Overlord, which I actually quite like, because he knows he's going to be pretty safe, and this Overlord is not going to be able to get away. That queen can just go forward the entire way across this map, and well, with only 2 Zerglings in production for 1-0 out for Lowly, that Overlord is definitely going down, and the queen is going to get a kill. Obviously, we've got another queen already up there in the base, but this is delaying lava inject on the natural, so is it worth it? Maybe, maybe not, but it should supply block Lowly, even though he has got more Overlords on the way. That temporary supply block is going to be very, very irritating indeed. We do have 2 Zerglings coming to poke and prod over 1 at the moment. The Baneling nest on the way down for 1 as well, so that is really paramount to going into kind of phase 2, where it's no longer about who has the most Zerglings, it's about who has the best Baneling Zergling control. And looking up here for Lowly, he's not actually getting his Baneling nest up, which is making me think he may just go straight to Roaches, and he's actually got his 3rd base started, so that is a really super early timing. He's going really as economical as he possibly can go at the moment, so this is really, really bold moves out of Lowly at the moment, and it will pay off for him as long as that 3rd base doesn't get taken off, and as long as he doesn't die before then. A lot of Zerglings on the way out though. His speed is just kicking in, and he is now getting his Baneling nest up, so we're going to see quite a bit of aggression here. We've got 4 Banelings morphing already. Of course, those Zerglings were spotted by the Overlords, and well, the Zerglings won't be able to get up because those Banelings actually forming a wall, but they're going to be able to do an absolutely massive amount of damage. The Queens get surrounded very, very quickly. The Spine Pool is getting taken down. There's no cancel going down there. Is there going to be a cancel on the second one? Well, no, because it doesn't get taken out yet, but one queen already gone down. A baneling detonates on just a handful of workers, and how did that go cost effective wise? Very, very similar, but of course a lot of units forced by one at the moment, and Lowly needs to be aggressive to make sure that that third base is safe, but of course the Overlord has spotted it, so that's probably going to be the focal point of the counter-attack to try and pick that off ASAP. As you can see, these Zerglings going straight up towards the third base. Lowly does not have his baneling nest done, but it has just finished, so he's able to now get some banelings, but of course this third base is looking that it could be in some problems. Lowly trying to keep some of this off, but good baneling detonations there for 1-on-1. Is going to be able to pick off this third base so incredibly well. This counter-attack really going to do a lot of damage. He's pulling back all the rest of his units, but he knows he's going to get this cleaned up, but it's more than worthwhile being able to pick off this third base, losing a handful of Zerglings. Good micro, just trying to get this hatchery down ASAP, picking off a couple of Zerglings as well. So great play. The hatchery does fall, and yeah, we can see here Lowly now in a tough position. One, he's getting all of his units back, which is precisely the right thing to do. He's getting up his Rotron, his Evolution Chamber, forming a nice little wall off here. He's going to have great baneling control, morphing in more banelings, ready for the inevitable counter push. Lowly with an awful lot of Zerglings. He needs to do a lot of damage back right now, because as you can see from the loss tab, he is a bit behind in terms of the worker count. He is actually 2 behind at the moment. So drone-wise, these two are very, very close indeed. Lots of banelings morphing all over this map at the moment. So this is absolutely bonkers. The third base being retaken at the moment by Lowly. He's taking his second gas, and well, 3 gas, the second and third gas being taken now for 1 as well. Lowly has now taken the supply lead. The Zerglings are on their way over. What is there in the way of defense? There's a handful of banelings, but they're all clumped up, so if 2 banelings detonate there, that would be absolutely huge. They are starting to split apart now, but obviously this baneling control is going to be absolutely essential for both players. And a massive baneling hit goes off there, and this is looking really, really good for one's defense, but there's still more units coming in for Lowly at the moment. He's going straight for those queens. The banelings are going into the middle line. Obviously 2 banelings needed to kill drones, but they don't quite detonate in time, and well, this is good control. All the banelings detonate though, and of course there's just mass damage going on absolutely everywhere. Lowly doing good damage. It is getting cleaned up by the drones for the moment though, and well, this is really intense at the moment. One getting some roaches out, his roach speed also on the way down. Lair only just starting now for Lowly. He's got his spine call up at the front. That third base is nearly finished again, but is it going to be forced to cancel? It very well could be, just due to the amount of Zerglings streaming across the map at the moment. One behind this, of course, is taking his own third base, and the cancel is not going to go down in time. So will Lowly be able to defend it? Yes, he easily will with that many Zerglings, so everything is looking good. In terms of upgrades, the +1 missile attack on its way down for 1 at the moment. That's the only upgrade. Meanwhile, for Lowly, he doesn't even have an evolution chamber. He is getting his Roach Warren up now, so he's transitioning into the Roach stage of the game. But of course, until 1 gets a decent amount out, he's going to have a tough time. Forced to cancel his third base. That is really annoying, because obviously Lowly is now a base up. Looking here, obviously this is not a big defensive force, but the Roaches will be cost effective in that tight little choke point, and of course banelings won't help massively. In terms of workers killed, 7-1, Lowly in a good spot. He is ahead in the work count by a grand total of 10 workers, which is actually pretty big at this stage of the game. He's also got much better map dominance looking around here. Looking up though, we do of course have this third base getting ready to be retaken by 1 at the moment, who does have the tech advantage, but obviously Lowly catching up in terms of tech. He's getting his Roach speed started, the +1 missile attack on its way. These Zerglings are going to try and get in a good loop around, and Roaches in small numbers do not engage against Zerglings very well at all, so we could see most of this get picked off, and Lowly doing an absolutely brilliant job. He's resupplying on an awful lot of Roaches, and of course if he keeps one's Roach numbers down low, then this another wave of attack could be really, really good. But more Roaches coming out here for 1, and all the Zerglings are surrounding this hatchery, trying to get the other side, allowing maximum attack time. Of course, the Roaches can't clear this out quickly enough, then it may be forced to cancel. It's going to be pretty close. Will it go down? No, it should be safe, but only just. That was really ridiculously close right there. So this game absolutely insanely intense right now. So this is pretty hectic. We've got some Roaches coming over, but of course Lowly will see them. The third base is going to be the focal point of the attack yet again. And of course, just look at the stream of blue units coming across. So many Roaches on their way. Of course, Lowly though, he's got the spine caller there. He's got a lot of his own Roaches. The +1 missile attack is done though for 1. It isn't quite done yet for Lowly. Also, this Roach speed finished for 1, and that is going to help him get a better attack arc as we're seeing here. But the superior numbers are there for Lowly at the moment. That's going to help him pretty significantly. There is a full retreat going on for 1 at the moment. Obviously, defender's advantage quite big with Zerg, just due to how quickly they can resupply more units. 14 more Roaches on the way out for Lowly at the moment. 3 more Roaches on the way out for 1. And as you can see, 1 getting the +2 missile attack already. The +1 missile attack about to kick in for Lowly. And if he waits the engagement until he has that done, that'll really level things out massively. In terms of the Roach count, Lowly is ahead, but only by 2 Roaches. That is absolutely tiny, but he's getting 6 more in production now. He is really into full swing. Looking at the worker count, he's still ahead by 4 workers, so not a massive amount. He's getting burrow down, preemptively putting his Roaches in a defensive arc. Really, really important to get good engagements and really maximize your defensive advantage. The 4th gas being taken there by 1, and obviously Lowly is just still sitting on the 4 gas. In terms of upgrades, Lowly hasn't started the +2 muscle attack yet, but is getting his infestation pit. Infest is such a strong unit, especially against roaches. They're absolutely dominating and make this so much more effective. It'll be interesting to see if either player chooses to get some Hydras out or not. Obviously those Hydralisks, a couple of them at the back of your army, really add to the firepower, and with the infestors as well, can demolish a roach only army incredibly quickly. In terms of upgrades, +2 missile attack just started, but it is quite a long way behind that of 1. But the infestation pit nowhere to be seen yet for the blue Zerg, and we've got Lowly moving up. He doesn't want to engage on this ram. That'd be really, really bad for him. He needs a good attack angle. Obviously attacking in choke points means the defender has a much better attack arc and more units attacking, fewer of yours obviously, but a good attempt at trying to get us around, getting some vision on the high ground. This is a big roach engagement, can't even fit it all on one screen, and it's going to be pretty close at the moment. The upgrades are equal. Who's going to come out on top? Well, for the moment it looks like Lowly is powering forward still, but the arc falling over at the 3rd base, so obviously that is giving 1 a bit of an advantage. The reinforcements coming in, Lowly forced to retreat, and 1 doing okay there. The counter-attack is obviously going to be the threat, but 1 not going forward yet. The infestation pit is done for Lowly. He's got pathogen glands on the way. He's only got to wait till that for about another 5 seconds before he can start those infestors, and obviously those infestors are going to be absolutely essential to this. Burrowing the roaches so they heal up. Great move there. You obviously want to get your roaches back to full health, get maximum use out of every unit. You've got the infestation pit just starting now for 1, who's getting his 5th and 6th gas. The 5th and 6th gas already up for Lowly. And, well, in terms of upgrades, the infestors on their way now. The +2 about to kick in for 1, though. So Lowly does not want to engage until he's got both the infestors and the +2 missile attack really on the playing field, because that is going to really, really help him. And now getting up the hydrogen as well. So tech-wise, he's getting really quite a long way ahead of 1. I'd say the beautiful timing window Lowly should be aiming for is when those infestors pop and the +2 missile attack kicks in. So that's going to be pretty similar in terms of timing. Not too far away, only about 40 seconds, taking the 4th base there for Lowly. So obviously out expanding his opponent. In terms of the worker count, 70 to 56, that is not a healthy number for the blue Zerg here. So obviously this means Lowly is just going to be able to out macro his opponent massively. You can see in the minerals he's getting a lot more on the field, taking out those center rocks, and well, the +2 missile attack about to come in, +1 ground carapace coming down for 1 at the moment. So he's trying to upgrade. Both players going for single upgrades rather than getting the double evolution chamber. We've got a roach being taken out here. Is this a sign that we're going to see a 4th base from 1? Yes, it is. And well, we should see a good move soon coming out from Lowly, who's getting up quite a lot of overseers. That's ready to deal with burrow roaches, etc. Those burrowed infestors are getting spotted by 1, unfortunately, and we do see now this roach ball move towards the center of the map, but it's spotted by the watchtower, which is held by Lowly, who has just got absolutely incredible map awareness at the moment, which is really helpful. Things like this overlord, just keeping an eye down the back for anything that could be coming over. Both players really being forced to be quite defensive. Some Hydralisks coming out for Lowly, just a handful of them, just to reinforce the army. Groove spine upgrade, the range upgrade for Hydras on the way down as well. In terms of the worker count, 78 now to 63 for Lowly, who is just absolutely dominating economically, especially being a base up as well. The upgrade advantage has really gone. Both players very, very similar in terms of their upgrades. The big advantage, though, for Lowly is he's got those Hydras and Infestors. He's got the perfect kind of late mid-game army to deal with 1. Both players nearing maxing out, so we should see an engagement shortly. They're going to have to be careful. The Hydras have revealed themselves, though, but it does actually go down. That overseer I thought was going to get away by the skin of his teeth. We've got 1 moving across the map. Is he going to be able to get there in time? Well, for the moment, it looks like no is the answer. We're going to have a little bit of an engagement in the middle. Here we go. Oh, the infestor's going to get fungal growth down. For the moment, no. Yes, there they go. A great fungal growth on a lot of those units. The lack of infestors for 1 really showing, but they're on their way over now. But is it going to be too late to the party? It very well could be. Those Hydras doing so much damage for Lowly right now. This is definitely a good engagement. Fungal growth goes off as well for Lowly on those infestors. Chain fungling them, picking them all off, and this could be game right here. Lowly with an absolutely ace engagement, just showing how important those infestors are. But there's meanwhile a Zergling counterattack. He's already cleared out the 4th base, and now he's going straight to the 3rd. These Zerglings doing an awful lot of damage, but they are trying to group up on the Queen, and of course they're getting taken out pretty quickly. We've got the reinforcements coming in for Lowly. A great burrow on those drones as well, just keeping as many of them as alive as possible. We've got more roaches in production. Lowly still ahead. What is it? The worker count out. Well, Lowly has lost an awful lot of workers right there. 32 being killed by 1, so he's going to have to go for a pretty strong counterattack, but of course he's got the infestors up still. In terms of the resources lost, 1 has lost more, but of course Lowly now really struggling in terms of his work count. He's getting some more in production, trying to get some more roaches up, more infestors up, and also those Hydralisks. But in terms of the army supply, well, it should be quite a long way in Lowly's favour, and indeed it is. This 4th base That's gone, that's going to go down. Lowly's taking his 5th, of course, behind this, so this is a really, really fun engagement right now, and it's really coming down to the late game, and Lowly needs to do an awful lot of damage, and he should be able to. A great fungal growth goes down on those roaches there. The 2 infestors get picked off, but of course, there's a lot of hydras in the back there, a lot of roaches, and the upgrade advantage is, well, exactly equal. They're both at 2-1 upgrades on those units. A couple of overseers getting picked off of one there. That is going to be irritating, but the infestors are out for the moment for 1. Lowly does not have any infestors on the field for the time being. He's trying to spread his units into a good position. The hydras are a little bit exposed though, so if they get picked up, they are glass cannons. We've got some fungal growth going down for 1, who is coming back with a brilliant counterattack, but can the hydras do enough damage for Wednesday? The infestors coming in now for Lowly. Obviously the roaches are spread though, so they're not pulled up, so they can't get as much damage as they may like, but for the moment it looks like Lowly is winning this engagement yet again, and there's the GG from 1. And wow guys, that game was one of the best ZvZs I have watched in absolutely ages. I loved it. If you liked it too, then please subscribe. I get new games up daily. Leave a comment, tell me what you thought of it, and of course like the video, that'd be great as well, and follow me on Twitch and all that shenanigans. Anyway, thank you very much for watching guys, and I'll catch you tomorrow for yet another new cast. Bye for now.